What's going on?
Hey man, I'll tell you what's going on. We got the Mission 3, sizzling hot 3 news coming at you right
It's
now.
atomic.
Bayonetta, Bayonetta and Vanquish bundles have been rumored and spotted and listed on European online stores. That's right, both games in the same bundle. They've been spotted on Xbox One and PS4 in HD.
Ooh.
Is this true? The box art looks legit enough to me. I think it's true just because the box art looks good. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 have been confirmed for Nintendo Switch. It's releasing November 28, 2017. It features Joy-Con motion controls, HD rumble. You can also use the right Joy-Con to aim your shots and swing knife attacks. Flick it up to reload Joy-Con to escape enemy attacks while being grabbed. And all the DLC is included. But the big main event for me, one of my most underappreciated games of last gen, and I still think the best acting performances in one game, in my opinion, LA Noire. It is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it features the complete original game and all additional downloadable content with specific enhancements, including a Joy-Con with gyroscopic gesture-based controls, HD rumble, and a new wide over-the-shoulder camera, plus touchscreen controls. But I'm not done. The PC version is going to include VR, okay? So can you imagine solving crimes in VR? That's going to be dope.
The only thing I
Noire
cared
is
about.
also-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I only hope that they include the actual credits this time. That's
No,
messed up how that last time happened.
that's not happening.
That is horrible.
They hit me up. Rockstar hit me up. That's not happening. So, okay. LA Noire is coming to PS4 and also Xbox One, and it delivers a complete original game and all additional downloadable content with a wide range of technical enhancements for greater visual fidelity and authenticity, including enhanced lighting and clouds, new cinematic camera angles, high resolution textures, and more. LA Noire plays natively in 1080p for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles and stunning 4K for PlayStation Pro and Xbox One X, capturing the grit and grime of the City of Angels like never before. And all that is happening very soon. And that is your Mission 3 Hot 3 news.
Ooh, very.
I'm liking it.
very hot.
I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah. Good news you got there, KJ. We definitely appreciate you for bringing in the hot 3. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show here, I do want to make sure you guys check out playlegit.net. Again, that is the hub. That is where you're going to find all things legit, everything video game related. We have the Mission 3 podcast. We do Dragon Ball Super so far. We got original reviews, whether they be write-ups, whether they be video reviews. Hey, sometimes we'll even let you know about the cool stuff that's coming out, not only with the Hot 3, but the updates that we have on the site. That's where you're going to want to find everything. Make sure you check out playlegit.net. Right now, we have some nice articles up. Make sure you check out Heck Wheels. He has an article up right now. Gear Club, the Unlimited preview. So check that out by our good friend Hector. Also, we have some sweet news on Forza Motorsport 7. It goes gold. That's an article by Miss Throwback, our new CEO. If you guys want to just give Miss Throwback a round of applause, definitely stepping up for KJ and all of us. While KJ will be away, if you guys haven't heard, KJ is going to be gone for quite some time. But we have Miss Throwback stepping in, holding it down as the CEO of Play Legit. We're still going to have the Mission 3 podcast. We're still going to have all this awesome content up on the site. KJ won't be able to help facilitate it for a little bit. We are going to miss him dearly, but we promise we are going to hold it down for him while he's gone, and he's going to come back to a great site, greater than it is now, maybe by a lot, maybe by a little, but it will be greater, we promise you. So other than that, we do also have our What's Good for this week. So you're going to want to check that out every week, because we're always going to let you know what's going on every week. But then we also have the tactical memorandum for Nintendo Wars. So you're going to want to check out all of the cool articles that we have up on the site. A lot of content goes up there regularly. Check back every day, every 2 days, every 3 days, because every day, every 2 days, whatever it may be, all day, every day, there's going to be legit content on playlegit.net. So check it out. You don't want to miss a thing.
There's so much. Guys, and we're just active across social media. So you have a social media app that you frequently use that's popular. We're talking about Twitter. We're talking about Instagram, Facebook. We're on there. So we got you. So all you got to do is just hit the subscribe button on whatever that may be. It's all that Play Legit. It's all real. Koerri said that, but I just want to throw something else on. So that's...
Yes, sir. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Like the Facebook page. All that good stuff. We're on Instagram. We're all over the place. So if you're on social media, you will be able to find the most legit site ever, playlegit.net. Also, follow us on Twitter at Mission 3 Podcast. That's Mission, the number 3 Podcast on Twitter, because every week there is a show. We are going to have an agent's request. We always allow you guys to select the second mission of the show, but you have to vote in the poll. Yes, we have a poll that you must vote in. We give you the options, whatever you want to hear. All you have to do is vote for it. If your vote is enough to push it over, then that's what we'll be talking about for that week. This week, we are going to be talking about some of our wildest used game stories, whether it be from GameStop or wherever you may get your used games from. We're going to be talking about stories about that because that's what you guys wanted to hear from us. We will see how that goes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But that's what you guys want to hear, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Other than that, today, for the first mission, I'm going to go in. I'm going to spend some time talking about my experience at Chicago Comic-Con, Wizard World Comic-Con in Chicago, as well as for Mission 3, our thoughts on annual sports games. That should be a good topic. The NFL season just kicked off. NBA 2K comes out next week if you've pre-ordered the game. A lot of people have been playing Madden. A lot of people love Forza. A lot of people love FIFA. There's all of these sports games. If you consider Forza a sports game, I know some people are kind of indifferent about racing games, but NASCAR is a sport, so Forza falls under that blanket, at least tonight. So we're going to be talking about our opinions on annual sports games as well. So it should be a great broadcast. You don't want to miss out. Also, if you're listening to this on iTunes or on SoundCloud, we will make sure I'm going to do my best. I'm going to start trying to load in different starting points. So if you want to skip ahead to certain missions, I'm going to make it so you'll be able to skip ahead. If, say, there's a mission you don't care about, don't care for, don't want to listen to, you'll be able to skip ahead to that.
No. They love them all. They love them all.
Hey. So with no further ado, if there's anything else you guys want to add before we go ahead and start this off, I'll get ready to kick off the first mission. All right, looks like we're all set.
Kick us off, dude.
All right, so I will go ahead and kick us off with mission number 1. And it's, like I said, it's going to be my thoughts on Wizard World Chicago Comic-Con. I was there about a week and a half ago. It was a great experience. Went there with my press credentials via Play Legit, which was nice. Didn't have to pay for myself to go in all weekend, which was really, really cool. That's how legit we do things here. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. Mission starts now. Woo! So, man, like I said, I was at Chicago Comic-Con. It was a great, great experience. It was even better because I did not have to pay to go in. I extend my thoughts to all of our Play Legit brothers and sisters. If there's an event that you want to check out, just hit them up, email them, say, hey, you represent the site, the company, and you'd like to, get your press credentials verified. Honestly, all I did was send it out. Like a week or two later, they sent me back the okay. And I was in there. They put me on the will call, and I just went up, got my wristband, and I was set for the weekend. So that was great. That was the first part that was like, okay, for sure. They recognize us. We're legit. They actually, looked over the site, saw the content that we have up there, see kind of the responses that we get, and they said, yeah, you guys are legit. You're welcome to come in and cover our event. So
Right on.
that was super awesome, and I must say I definitely appreciate it because it went down all weekend. It was great. I have a lot of footage that I'm working on getting a lot of the stuff chopped up. I talked to a few cool individuals. I got to speak briefly with Charlotte Flair for a little bit for a buddy of mine. I did him a favor, so I got to speak with her. That was really, really cool. There was tons of cosplayers, and they even had a video game tournament. So I want to spend a little bit of time on this. If I wasn't too late and too busy, I definitely would have signed up for the Smash tournament. But I had a bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't get to sign up for that. But I did stop by. I was checking out the players. They had a Smash tournament going on. They had a Puyo Puyo Tetris tournament that was going on, which I kind of wanted to enter that one too. I caught that, but just by chance I saw that going on, so I caught some footage of that. As well as they had a Tekken tournament, Tekken 7 tournament going on. And then they also had a Injustice tournament going on, and Street Fighter 5. So there was a whole bunch of gaming going on. It was really, really dope. So I sat back. There were some people that were, you could tell they were casuals, especially when it came down to Street Fighter. You could tell there were some casuals, but then there were some super competitive guys that came in. I'm talking about people that came in with custom controllers trying to win that pot, man. It was cool, and it's nice. It was nice just to see how much people actually appreciate competitive gaming. I thought, when I went by the section, I was like, okay, cool. There'll probably be, sprinkled people in there probably checking out some of these games. But it was packed, man. All of the seats were filled in. It seems like people dedicated their time when it came down to this event to spend it in the gaming section. They had a whole area of the arena that they had it set up. They had individual computers, or if you wanted to go play Smash Bros, just to to kind of casualize it. They had little computers that you could go play at. They had some VR sections set up, and then they had the main stage with the monitors up and everything, where you could watch the competitors play off of their individual monitors as well. It was great. Like I said, man, if I would have anticipated like the seriousness of it, I definitely would have been more prepared to go cover that. I know the next time I do go to any one of these events, now that I know that this is something that they actually do and actually kind of promote at the event, it's definitely something I'm going to get more into next time there is the event. But I am going to say it was just cool to see that they actually gave a lane to people that are gamers. It's Comic-Con, so you're not necessarily expecting them to really shine light on the video game world, but it was nice to see how they kind of rolled everything together with that. Very, very, very dope. And shout out to the guy that was whooping cheeks in Street Fighter 5. Literally, I watched this guy go through like 7 people. Literally, he was using Koerri, so and he had her down. He had her down to a T. I don't know how many perfects this guy got. He was definitely killing it. I got some footage of that. I'm gonna post that up. As soon as I have that up, I'll let you guys know so you can check that out. Other than that,
what's up, man?
Yeah, it definitely was cool. Other than that, man, there was tons of cosplayers. Think of whatever you can think of. There was cosplayers of. I saw a whole team of the sailor team, the Sailor Scouts. There was a whole there was a group of dudes dressed up as Sailor Scouts in like authentic Sailor Moon uniforms. It was hilarious. I mean, I have to say, like, so many people were just so original when it came down to their cosplay. It was cool to see. There was a lot of people cosplaying as Game of Thrones. I've seen there was a lot of meme cosplayers. Of course, you got tons of Naruto cosplayers. You know, you see all the people with their Hidden Leaf headbands on. We're seeing Batman, of course. I don't know how many Deadpools I saw. I saw a bunch of people dressed up as Arrow. The Flash, of course. There was tons of Superman. There was just there was just so many cosplayers.
What about Dragon Ball characters?
Dragon Ball characters. There was a pretty cool Goku, a Super Saiyan Goku kid, which was pretty dope. But other than just the cosplay, man, one thing that I love about Comic-Con is the artwork and the independent writers, you know, and the comic book developers. That's where I actually like to spend a lot of my time, because you can find some gems. And I always appreciate people kind of coming from the ground up, developing an idea and trying to push that idea. So I always go out of my way to go and talk with a lot of these people that are developing comic books, grab some original work for them, you know, get their autographs while they're still young, before things blow up, things like that, because you really never know what may happen. You may get an autograph from somebody that appears to be a nobody now, but might end up being like the CEO of Marvel or DC or something down the line in the future. So I always
they'll
like
remember you.
Exactly.
You'll get to go to the champagne room and celebrate.
Yes, sir.
When they make it big.
In that champagne room. So I went out of my way. I picked up a lot of artwork from a lot of the indie developers when it comes down to the people that are developing comic books, things like that. Grab some autographs, grab some work, because my plan, after I get some of these videos done, things like this too, I'm gonna do some write-ups on some of these people too, to help push them a little bit, promote their work, highlight some of their work, and then you know how it is. Scratch your back, they'll scratch my back down the line in the future. Maybe if they do get big, we can get those exclusive interviews for the site, stuff like that. So yeah. Right now I'm working on an article for a comic. It's called, now it may sound funny, but the concept of it, especially since the developer is based out of Chicago, I thought it was really, really cool. So there's this guy, he developed the comic book. It's a superhero named Ebonics Man, right? And it's cool because, all right, it caught my attention because I'm walking around the con and there's just like this soundtrack playing, right? So, and it's just the Ebonics Man theme song, and it's just like this cool, it's like, it has this pretty dope beat, and it's basically just the theme song to Ebonics Man. So pretty much the main character, Ebonics Man, he is a guy from the inner city in Chicago, and he uses music to fight. So they don't use fisticuffs, there's no violence, anything like that. It's all based off of music. And it's, when I was talking to the writer, he basically is saying, what we want to do, we want to highlight the arts and show people that there's ways, to make a change, make a difference other than using violence. You can be a hero by just using your words or using your instruments, things like that. So all of the characters, they all have their special ability would either be using a microphone, using instruments, whatever it may be. And all of the villains are the same way. So and it's cool because the first issue, I got a copy of the first issue, he autographed it for me and everything, but it comes with the soundtrack, right? So there's a series of songs that come with it, and the way it's written for you to listen to the soundtrack while you are actually reading the book. So it seems really cool.
Sick.
It's really dope. I've gotten about halfway through and I really enjoy it, and the entire series is supposed to be that way, where you listen to the music while you read the book, so you kind of get that feeling. There's no real feeling that you get like listening to the music, hearing beats and drums and strings and all of that kind of livens you up. So I thought that was a real cool concept. So expect a write up about that from me soon, as well as all of the other cool stuff that I got. I got a bunch of other comic books, talked to a bunch of other people there too. But I'm out of time. I didn't know 10 minutes was gonna go by that fast with that. But so
if you talk anymore, buddy, it's gonna be a mission failure.
Yeah. Isn't it technically already though?
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Who's your favorite comic book character?
My favorite like in entirety, I'm gonna have. I mean,
Entirety.
that's hard. Individual wise, I love the Flash comics. But if I'm going with like a series that I have followed and I will always follow like every book from since I was young till the end of my existence, it's gonna be TMNT. I have such a large Ninja Turtle collection of comic books. It's ridiculous. I have the entire IDW set. I have all of the A covers, as well as most of the B covers, and a bunch of sub covers for like the entire series of this IDW set that's currently running, as well as like a bunch of like throwback comics and stuff from, like the 80s all the way to today. So TMNT is my jam, guys.
Right on.
I ain't mad at you.
Yes. So, mission 1 is set. If you guys are ready, we can go ahead and get into our second mission here, and that is going to be our used game stories.
So lovely.
Yeah, so this one should be fun. This is what you guys wanted. This is the agent's requested mission, so you wanted to hear our used game stories. We're going to tell them to you. Don't be disappointed or don't be over intrigued sure. So we can go ahead and start this. Which one of you would like to kick this off for us?
Derek.
All right, guess I will.
All right. I'm sorry. You gotta be a little quicker with it, Haggy.
To be fair, I was just about to ask, what would you prefer, KJ?
Yeah, I know that. That's why I was like, "What you gonna do when I'm gone, Derek? You ain't have no shoulder to lean on."
All right, so we'll have Haggy get on into this. Mission starts now.
All right. Well, I might have actually already shared this used game story before, but do you guys remember when I was talking about selling my old 360?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
yeah,
that's unfortunately like everything else I've had. It's been really lovely, except for one other thing I'll get to later. But no, I go in, and I'm getting into like a tabletop mood, and it's starting to become a situation where I just never really played 360. I was starting to become a PC guy, and I just didn't feel like buying more controllers or upgrading it or whatever, and games are more expensive. Moving on. So I decided, you know what? No, screw it. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell the games I have with it. I'm going to sell the controllers, whatever, get some extra cash, right? Because, someone else will probably enjoy it more than I am, and let's face it, you could always use more cash. Yeah. So I walk in, put it up. He said, all right, yep, good Xbox. All 4 games work. All 3 controllers work. $40. $40.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
That is trash.
Did you accept that trade?
Like, they're smart over there at the place that shall not be named. By the time they came to this realization, the guy in the back had already bagged up everything, was already starting to put it in inventory.
Oh,
wow.
So you want to say no, but it's like, oh, but he's already started. So, is this it? Like, they phrased it as okay, here's your $40, as opposed to, is this all right with you? They sucker you in.
Wow.
Well,
that's the last time I walked into a GameStop.
Wow.
They
fandangled. They were like, yeah, so we're going to give you $40 and you can't say no.
Yeah.
Right. Well, a lot of my time growing up, I received a Super Nintendo from my parents, and that was pretty dope. But as far as any type of enhancements to it, I was kind of on my own. I had to fend for myself. So I would play games that were not popular, and a lot of them were garbage just because that's all I could get my hands on. I'd go on the half-price books and find a Speed Racer on Super Nintendo for $5. I didn't even know it was a Speed Racer game. But I was so it had like platforming levels where you dodge people trying to shoot you with guns, and then every once in a while you have racing segments. And I was thought to myself, why isn't the whole game just really you racing? And then on top of that, the racing levels were incredibly difficult. And so it wasn't a very well balanced game at all. And I didn't know, and I was surprised it existed, but at least I didn't pay too much. And another game I didn't pay too much for, this was kind of cool. I walked into the thrift store, and they had Super Mario World at the thrift store. So I got that, and that's probably still my favorite Super Mario game. And it's just cool to get that from a thrift store and not pay top dollar for that. That's pretty dope in my opinion. But the main used game thing I want to talk about is I received a PSP for my birthday, a used PSP, and it had, everybody knows I got a PSP at launch, that PD Pablo song on the UMD, the Vibrate. Everybody. And so I've looked at that video on YouTube, and I'll just see comments of people just saying that PSP. Because that was like the only time I ever hear that song was that UMD disc that came with it. And on my PSP, there was, because I got it used, there was a person's family on there. He had his pictures on the PSP that he did not delete, and he also had tracks from Young Jeezy on there. And so that's how I got introduced to Young Jeezy. It was the whole Trap or Die mixtape album was on the memory stick. So I was listening, yeah, Jeezy, it's tight, man, yeah. And he had pictures of him and his boys smoking weed on he just took pictures of himself smoking weed and just had it on the PSP. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. So I've had some fun experiences with used games. I like getting physical copies myself. I like looking at the box, and I like that old school feeling of switching games and stuff like that. I don't hate digital. I like digital also. I like to have the option of either way. Sometimes I'll want digital, sometimes I want physical. Of course, in the future, I don't think we'll have an option, but right now I'm enjoying having that option. So that's what I have to share.
Well, I feel you.
I will say I think there's always going to be a lane for physicals, just because, especially now, like look at music. Not to go off in a far tangent, but look at music, right? You can stream music easily. You don't have to even really pay for music if you don't want to. But now vinyl is blowing back up just because it's like, yeah, well, I could stream it, but you don't really feel the same way as you would when you actually, you have the physical. You can bust it out whenever you want to. I mean, it's like having an emulator or having a Super Nintendo. If you have the Super Nintendo, you're going to want to bust that Super Nintendo out. You're going to want to slam that cartridge in there, just because you get that feeling back, It's not all digital. It doesn't all seem fake, And that's kind of like an issue where I've ran into now, because a lot of the titles that I purchase, like I'll admit I haven't bought a used game in a minute, just because now with the internet and now with all the streaming or being able to download from the PSN or whatever it may be, I mean, if I see a game, I bought Titanfall 2 for like $30 off of PSN, off the PlayStation Network, because it was discounted. Why would I go buy it used if I could just wait 2 months after the game comes out and I can just get the digital copy of it? If I really want to play it, I get it cheaper. I don't have to worry about people's like nasty smudges all over it, or if someone had a baby that stuck it in its diaper and then they went and traded it into GameStop because they needed $3 or something, so so unfortunately I don't, like, I was sitting on this for a while trying to think of like a story of a used games, and I honestly cannot think of anything except all of the times in the past where I would trade games in and get little to nothing every single time. It got to the point where honestly I stopped trading in games just because it's like, well, I might as well just hold on to this. Even though I beat Fallout New Vegas like 7 times, I could have traded it in, but I just keep it, even though I know like I probably won't play it, just because I'm spoiled and I have good graphics on. I'm on this console that I have now, and it's kind of hard to go back to the PS3. Just spoiled guy business. It is what it is.
Get it on PC, mod the crap out of it. You'll be back.
Right. See, but you see what I'm saying? I can get it again, but there's really no need for me to like try to go. Why would I get $7? I'd rather have it on my shelf so I can be like, hey, I got this. Maybe in
I got it. It's cool.
Yeah, maybe in 15 years someone might want money for it, and then maybe I'll trade it in or something like that. So I really don't have any elaborate story, unfortunately. Even just trying to think about it, I sold my Super Nintendo to my brother, but it was both of ours, and he wanted it, but I had possession of it, so I made him give me money for it. Other than that, hey,
that's pretty hardcore, dude.
I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. He should have, like, hey, if there's a Super Nintendo, it's both of ours. He left first. He didn't take it with him. I left next. I took it with me. You want it?
Wow.
Chop some bread, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm just here to be honest with you guys, man.
I mean, yeah, that's capitalism for you, I guess.
Hey, America. It's 2017.
Wow.
Well, in Ohio, Koerri, man, we have a lot of used game stores still. Like, there's a good amount around town, and I think that's part of the reason why I like physical so much still, just because I have such easy access and I don't have to give money to the corporate machine. I know, like, when I walk into a store, I know I'm helping out my cousin or my uncle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not going anywhere corporate, so I feel like more inclined to do that.
That makes sense.
But at the same time, so, and then at the same time, a lot of these places, they'll have vinyls. You can get cards for tabletop. They'll have, movies and whatnot. So that a lot of these places are making it a one-stop shop for all your media, which is a good idea. Oh, we made it.
Right on.
He's like, oh, snap, we made it. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, we made it through. One thing I will say, here I live in a I'll call it a city. It's the fourth largest city in Wisconsin. It's called in Kenosha here. We don't have any used game spots. We have pretty much comic shops and like used toy shops that'll sell. Sometimes they'll sell games. But for the most part, we have even like what is this? What's that place called? Sound by the so they sell like a bunch of like sports memorabilia, something different it's called. So like sometimes they'll sell like literally like Genesis games and stuff like that. People that pawn like super old stuff there. But other than that, we don't really have much except for the good old corporate spot that shall not be named. So. And I try not.
Derek mentioned it earlier.
I try not to go there unless I'm looking for some exclusive Funko Pop. So, yeah.
Hey, they opened it with the toy game though. They're getting that toy game a lot. I was in there last week.
They're not trying to get shut down, man.
They got this Goku Super Saiyan sculpture, and he was like, they wanted like $50 for him. I was so tempted. I said, man,
yeah, you can't have this money. You cannot have this money. No, I feel you, man. Yeah, they will they'll give you $7. They'll give you $7 for your title that came out last week. And then they will give you 15 for your used iPhone that launched 9 months ago too. So I mean, hey, that's why they're around. But
they might even give you 5 for your old console you don't play with anymore.
Hey, but they're clearly feeling it though. The fact that they start implementing all this swag in their stores, they're hurting y'all.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for like the employees just doing their job, but hell yeah.
Hey, that's not me. So
yeah.
What are they?
Yeah, we're turning into a little turning into dreadlock here a little bit, man.
I know. I'm trying to see them dreads like growing and stuff.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into our third and final mission for tonight. This one should be a good one. Like I said, the NFL season just kicked off last night. I lost horribly in my fantasy league, at least my first game. So that's not going well. But we do have Madden that just came out. A lot of people are probably spending money on these packs for their my team or whatnot. We got NBA 2K that comes out next week if you pre-ordered the title. We got Forza. We got FIFA. We got all of these annual sports games that come out every single freaking year. Let's talk about it. What are our thoughts on these annual sports titles? KJ, this is going to be you starting this one off for us, bud. Let's go ahead. Mission starts now.
So for me, the only sports games I regularly will play, and I consider it racing sports game. I definitely do. For me, is Forza. Every year, it's these past few years, it's the undisputed champ of racing. There's just so much you can do to the cars. The tracks are just so accurate, and I'm not. It isn't just my opinion. Like our racing game expert, Heck G, he knows the ins and outs of racing vehicles and all that. So he's the one that's telling me he loves Gran Turismo. He's a longtime Gran Turismo fan, but he admitted to it that Forza is where it's at right now. So that's what it is. So Forza every year, I guess they don't have a yearly title attached. They come out every year, so I feel like you have to count that. And as long as they can maintain the quality of these games, I guess keep going with it. But I don't want to see a series this good decline. So I hope that they kind of stop doing it every year, but they are coming with that quality. So, but another one that I play is the NBA 2K series. I haven't actually purchased one in a while, but I rent them every year just to try them out. But the reason why I kind of stopped buying them is because their servers. They're just always something wrong with their servers. The gameplay is always good. The animations are fantastic. It just gets more and more realistic. It really does. It's not just a cliche thing when you hear people say that about this series. It really is impressive. Some of the animations, when you sit down and you have the control and you're playing, you're not just watching somebody else. You're playing it yourself. You can appreciate just some of the movements, just how people react to various plays being called. It is very impressive. However, it just doesn't translate well to the online yet. For some reason, I always have some type of disconnect. And what I do not like, and Koerri, I'm sure you're going to jump in on it too, is the VC coins. And it's that currency that is used in games, and it's always attached to that particular year. Why not, if you're going to implement these VC coins and continuously charge people, why don't we make it where it's a pool that you can bring it with you to any version of 2K? I think that people will be more inclined to invest if they know that, all right, I just bought these coins for 2017's game. I didn't use them all, but now I can take it with me to the next game. I don't know why they won't implement that. If you're going to have them at all, I don't like them at all when the game is already $60. I do not like that. And the fact that if the money was going towards solid servers where I know I'm going to have a smooth experience every single time, when I know I'm playing 10 players online and every person's controlling a man, that there is zero slowdown, zero drop off of players, that hasn't happened yet. So 2K, I'm talking to you. I like what you guys do. I like the product you guys put out. I could enjoy it much more if you made these VC coins either go away or take the money that is used from these to put it into servers so that I can have stable basketball. That's it.
You are asking for way too much, KJ. These guys are not. These guys are not. All right, so I say that, but I agree with you wholeheartedly, KJ. Wholeheartedly, I agree with you. I have a coworker. I will address him as Jay. If you're watching this, you know I'm talking to you, sir. because we just had a long conversation about this. He has Madden right now. He's contemplating. Well, he's gonna get 2K as well. But this guy is legitimately a Madden fiend, and it's not like playing the game. It's legitimately these Madden packs for this My Team. I forget exactly what they call it, where you develop your own team, you pull these packs, you get Ultimate Team, right? This guy legitimately, over the weekend I talked to him, spent over $100 to pull packs. This guy, I swear, will probably spend another $100 before the week is up, and maybe even another $100 during the following weekend. This guy is completely addicted to packs because it's the thrill of the pull. They have it down to a science where it's like, I didn't get Madden last year. I didn't get it the year before, but I got it the year before that because, in my opinion, like Madden, it doesn't really change that much where you need to get the new title. Now this year they have a new engine and everything, so I was like, okay, for sure.
Story mode.
Story mode, which I don't even know if I'm gonna play because I didn't know that you don't get to select your own character. It's like a pre-made character that you have to play as. So you're not even playing as you. You're playing as some random guy. So like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I was interested, but now I don't care. Especially since 2K for the past 2-3 years, they've given you a story mode, but they allow you to be your character. Yeah, they're gonna call you Freak or Prez, but at least it's still you. You know, like at least it's still you. You can make a face scan. It looks like you. Madden, none of that. They just give you a preset story. You can't change anything at all. But their main focus, it appears to be on the Ultimate Team, because that's where they're legitimately making so much freaking money. Because the way it's set up, it's like, hey, if you want to get a pack, you could pay 25 mini games or 25 games, and then you'll have enough tickets or coins to be able to download one pack where you can get a character that has like a 73 overall rating, which isn't going to really help you. Or you can pay $20, bypass all those games, and just download that pack and get that one character. So the way it's set up, when I was looking through it yesterday because I got it yesterday. I was looking through it yesterday. I'm like, dude, well, I could sit here and play for legitimately like 9 months and try to get a good team, or I could just spend like $600 and have the best team. What do you think most people are gonna do?
Hey, and how much is that game already? By itself,
$60 for the base game.
Thank you.
And that includes absolutely nothing but the game. Or you could spend an additional, I believe it was $40, and you can get the GOAT edition, and it'll give you like 20,000 VC. Or 20,000 Madden coins, or whatever they call it in Madden.
And do they carry over from the year before?
And they do not carry over from the year before. And that's the thing I wanted to highlight. Legitimately, my friend that I was talking about earlier, this guy put maybe like $1,000 into Madden last year. And I was like, hey man, like, like they're gonna come out with a new one in a couple months. And he was like, dude, man, I know, man, but I need those packs, man. And I'm like, dude, are you smoking rocks, bro?
Yeah,
Madden,
that's
like,
predatory. You might need some help there.
Yes, but the thing about that is, like, there's a whole community of people that have all of these coins on Madden, and the only way you're gonna get that much is if you're spending money, or if you're the developer and you can just give it to yourself. So there's a whole community of people that are literally just throwing money away into these annual games, and that's where my core really comes in. Why can't it transfer over? I wouldn't mind spending the money if I knew the money that I invested in the title wasn't going to be worth nothing in 6 months. Man. But it literally is worth nothing. Since Madden, it's like that. Same thing with 2K. And I will give 2K, I'll give 2K the benefit of the doubt because it's more. I mean, Madden's competitive as well, but 2K is more competitive in my opinion because you get to select your character, you select your position, select what abilities you want to increase, so you can really customize your character to play how you want to play, and then you can take it into into online and be competitive. You can even get into leagues. They even have leagues where you can do 5-on-5. Join up with your squad, and you can compete
They just
to be
need the servers to handle it.
Right, exactly. And in my opinion, that eventually can be developed into, hey, we don't even have sports teams. It's you're your player, just like this run the neighborhood mode that they're gonna put in NBA 2K18. It looks like that's the first steps to them developing an actual 2K, not NBA 2K, but basketball 2K, where 2K is just the catalyst to online basketball, so from that aspect, I like that. They just need to allow you to carry that over, so you can create a character and then use that same character as you develop or progress through these leagues, so you can become maybe a professional 2K player, stuff like that, since we're moving more and more into that direction anyways. But this annual nonsense where you have to spend all of this money because maybe you want to be 99, maybe you don't want to get whooped by the computer every game, so you want a good character, but after 9 months now you have to throw that in the trash and spend another $500 so you can have a good character and not get spanked by everybody online. So I don't know, man.
Right on.
They got to change some things.
Well, I guess that means Mission 3 is taken care of.
Hey, Derek, you have something to say, man. You look sad over there, bro.
I mean, honestly, you guys kind of captured all the major points. Really, I would have just said something along the lines of, I hope they just eventually make a single game and then just add updates and content to it in the future.
Right.
So that way they don't have to keep remaking it every goddamn year. Like, instead of remaking a new game, just make a roster update or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
2009 update, $20.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, people would buy those updates as opposed to a new game. I mean, especially since we're getting to the point where graphic fidelity is kind of reaching. Like, I haven't noticed a difference from the last couple Madden games, and they still look great. Don't get me wrong, but it's starting to not matter what they look like.
Yeah. One thing I will say about Madden, though, customization, like, what are they doing when it comes to customization? The graphics overall look better, but what's up with this customization, EA? Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe they just don't care, but I'm tired of picking from a series of 12 faces. Like, what's up? What's up with a face scan or something?
Hey. What's up with that Skate 3, though?
What's up with that Skate 4? What's up with that Skate 4? What's up?
Oh, that's Skate
What's
4.
up?
That's right.
I can get Madden every year, but look at this cat wants Dreadlock to just come right out, huh? I can get Madden every year. You want me to spend $700 on Madden, but I can't get Skate 4? What's up?
There's no justice in this
What's
world,
up?
Man.
Can I get a reskin Skate 3 at the minimum?
Hey, but at least, if you get Xbox One X, man, Skate 3 is backwards compatible, so you can play that.
I mean, I got a PlayStation 3. I can just play Skate 3 right now.
Well, there you go. Get to it.
You sound like EA right now, KJ.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you have it on PS3. Get to it. What you complaining for? Maybe because you have people giving you thousands of dollars for Madden after they've already bought the base game. Like, literally, they should give us everything we want. But hey, EA, you got next E3. You better hope I'm not going to be in the building, but I more than likely will be. So expect Dreadlock to show up. I might even run on the stage if they don't announce it. Who knows? Hey, let me calm down. Let me calm down. But Mission 3 is complete. That's our thoughts on annual sports games. I hope you guys are satisfied with that. Like I said, It's not that we don't like them. It's just like, come on, we give you so much, give us a little in return. You're making literally billions of dollars off of these titles because there's so many people that just pour all of this money into this. So
speak for yourself. The only sports games I like are like wrestling and frickin' Blood Bowl.
I mean, WWE 2K is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I haven't bought into it. It's like, oh, I want to buy it, but in a year's time, the servers will be down, and I won't be able to do anything with my friends unless I buy it again.
The servers there need to get definitely repaired. But I will say, the graphics took a pretty nice leap, though. I saw the comparison from 2017 to 2018 for the WWE game. Big time difference. They went in this time.
Is it really different?
Oh, it definitely is. It's very noticeable.
I'll take a look at it then.
Oh,
yeah.
Check that out. Word. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, goats and geese, children of all ages. I'm going to just continue to say random stuff whenever I do that, if you guys haven't noticed. That's the Mission 3 podcast. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Again, we covered my experience at Comic-Con in Chicago 2017. We talked about our, some of our best or, craziest or mediocre used game stories. Mediocre, I guess, by my part. And then we also talked about our opinions on annual sports titles. Again, we appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. That's at Mission, the number 3 podcast on Twitter. Because, again, that's how you can vote in the poll every single week. The second mission, the used game stories, that's because that's what you guys wanted to hear, so that's what we talked about. Make sure you vote in the poll, so next week we'll be talking about whatever topic you would like us to talk about. We definitely appreciate everybody that follows us on the Twitter page, as well as on our Facebook page, Instagram, all of that good stuff. Keep that up. Keep on sharing the links with your friends. Follow us on SoundCloud so you can hear this back. Hit us up on iTunes too. Rate the podcast on iTunes. Share that with your friends, your families, all of that good stuff. All you got to do is search for the Mission 3 podcast, and you will find that there. Other than that, guys, do you have anything else you would like to add before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Got some big time announcements next episode. But we're going to say that for next episode. Big things.
Big things popping.
Big things. Big things.
Yes, sir.
$40.
$40. Just remember that next time you guys go to the store that shall not be named, they will lowball you. So, anyways, again, we definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been awesome. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, everybody that's commenting. Thanks, everybody that's sharing. Thanks, everybody that's just around and is cool. And thanks all of our Play Legit family that helps us on the back end. Uriah, you're a big help. I know Kevin helps out a lot, too. And big shout out to our standing CEO of Play Legit, Heather. It is her birthday today, so we're going to wish her.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're going to wish her a happy birthday as well on the podcast.
Happy birthday, Heather.
Other than that, man, you could follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that, at Koerri Elijah. You can find KJ at Play Legit, and you can find Haggy at Derek Haggy. That's Derek _Haggy, correct?
Correct, sir.
All right, on Twitter, hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about the show. And until next time, this has been the Mission 3 podcast. Stay legit. Mission complete.
Holla.
Holla.
Holla.